Welcome back, Patriots, to the Ball Brad Show. It is Friday, May 3rd, and Joe Biden. Good old Joey. The geriatric, the puppet, the child sniffer, the guy that hits a golf ball backwards, falls up a flight of stairs, looks for dead people in the crowd, is conversing with dead people and seeing them. Joe Biden's psychic or clairvoyant, I don't know which one, maybe both. Fights with his teleprompter. This is the most insane statistic in all of politics, where Joe Biden dukes it out with his teleprompter every single day, and his teleprompter always wins. The teleprompter is undefeated. It's the heavyweight champion of the world. Joe Biden's out there fumbling through his words, fighting with his teleprompter, drooling into a drip tray. He is by far, not even close, the worst president in American history. Damn, Patriots. It's great to be back with you on this fine Friday morning. And rather than showing Joe Biden drooling and tripping over a blade of grass, let's show what a true president looks like right here, where we have Donald J. Trump, baby, the best president in modern history, delivering food. He's delivering pizza to the fire department and the police department of New York City after spending a full day in court. Here we go, baby.
Real quick, Trump's just outside of a fire station after leaving court. He's got pizza for the guys. This is typical Trump. Let's poke in and see what he's up to right there.
Damn right. Damn right, baby.
And Joe Biden, he can walk up to a firehouse, a police station. He can walk into a boardroom, a bowling alley, or a bar and have a conversation with absolutely anybody. We don't have any audio on him right now, but apparently he's...
Oh, I'll give you some audio, baby. What's up, boys? Joey's nowhere to be found, but Mr. 45's here to serve you. You protect New York. You do a fabulous job. Look at all of you. There's no more beautiful men and women than what's being served right here in New York City. Goddamn, you guys asked for pepperoni? I gave you extra cheese, sausage, and extra pepperoni. Okay, look at you. The head's on straight. You're serving, you're protecting. That's what we want.
He's going inside to talk to these firefighters, which is, by the way, right outside the studio, folks. This is incredible. The fact that he leaves court, goes in campaigns with these people, and it goes in campaigns with ordinary people, not high-dollar fundraisers with Lizzo like Joe Biden did recently. Real quick, Trump's just outside.
Newsmax just laying into Joey. And you know what, you guys? He's smiling. He couldn't be more happy to serve people and take care of them, because those are Americans, folks. Those are the people that are on the front lines, the first responders. And Joey's out there having nap time on the beaches of Delaware, has taken more vacation time than any sitting president in American history. All the while, Donald Trump goes out. You won't see Joey do that, okay? What you also won't see Joey is doing this. Here's the motorcade for Donald Trump, and he goes and shakes every single one of their hands. Let's roll it. Look at that. Joe Biden would be fumbling, tripping, not knowing where he's at. Look at these people. Couldn't be more happy to sit there and protect our president. Mr. 45 walking there, shaking all their hands. You just don't see that from Joe. You don't see any of this from Joe Biden. Somebody tried to sit there on Twitter. Look at this knucklehead. Oh, well, Trump's just taking one out of Biden's campaign and his playbook. So let's just see this, just the drastic difference between how Joe Biden delivers pizza compared to Donald Trump. So he's not holding it. He has his freaking mask on because he's an idiot. He's outside wearing a mask, and he's not even delivering the pizzas. Somebody else is.
Good to see you. We're glad you're here.
Good to see you.
Everything going okay?
It's going okay.
Set these up here for this.
We got some more. I'm worried my staff is going to keep them.
We got some hungry firefighters here.
Yeah.
This was a great thing for us. Glad you're in Pittsburgh.
Like, how do we know this isn't staged? Where's all the fire department? Where's all the first responders shaking his hand that want to talk to the guy? Nowhere to be found, folks. Joe Biden is probably on the beaches of Delaware right now, raking in the sunshines, getting his tan on, not having a damn clue what's going on. But Donald Trump sits in court all day with the government going after him, and afterwards, he walks over and delivers pizza. Joe Biden is the same president, you guys, that put our veterans in a parking structure rather than setting up and taking care of them. Joe Biden's the guy that kicks out our veterans out of hotel rooms that served in Afghanistan and Iraq and replace them with Afghanistan and Iraqi refugees and immigrants. Let that one sink in. Joe Biden is trash. Well, speaking of other knuckleheads, we still have these protesters going on. So the California Highway Patrol ran roughshod over these protesters at UCLA. Folks, they were sitting there dismantling their encampment, hitting them with flashbangs. It was awesome. Oh, it was awesome. I can't show it because we'll get flagged here on YouTube. We're getting flagged for just using the word Israel on YouTube at this point. That's not a joke. Folks are sitting there with the rubber bullet, just with shotgun, with the beanbag, just pumping them full. It was awesome. Oh, it was a sight to behold. So right here, we have a UCLA Protest spokeswoman. This is so wild. Given that the University of California is founded on colonialism, it's inherently a violent institution. There needs to be an adjustment of U.S. imperialism. Holy crap, here we go.
I think it's more than divestment as well. I think given the fact that the University of California is founded on colonialism, it's inherently a violent institution. There needs to be an addressment of U.S. imperialism and its ties to the UC system and how it perpetuates war and violence abroad. Not only abroad, but also here, locally. We see this with the brutality, the police brutality that black and brown students face here at UCLA, Arab students, Muslim students, Palestinian students. And I myself have personally been faced those violences that the UC has perpetuated and continues to perpetuate. It's not just a means of divestment, it's a divestment from Zionism. Yeah.
Go.
Says the people that are calling for the genocide of the Jews. Let this sink in. These idiots are the same people that are protesting alongside Columbia University students that we just saw yesterday, demanding that the university ship in food and water or else they're going to starve to death when they can walk off campus at any moment and go get food. The same idiots, like you see on your screen here, that sat there and spent $500+ on tents rather than spending $500+ to get food and send it to the people that they're in support of in Palestine because they have a famine over there, are buying tents for themselves. These people are idiots. The same people that are bitching and complaining about the university that they're going to. Why would you go to that university then? Because they're idiots. These people are not intellectuals. They're not smarter than any of us, you guys. They're idiots, and they're being allowed to go to these universities. It doesn't mean anything if you go to UCLA anymore, or USC, or Harvard, or Yale. You're seeing what they're producing. These knuckleheads. Well, this has caused Iran to respond. You guys are going to love this. It's just unbelievable. It's one of the best things Iran has offered us. They're offering scholarships to students expelled from the United States. Please take them. Please. The head of a major Iranian university reportedly offered scholarships to students expelled from U.S. and European universities over an anti-Israel protest roiling with anti-Semitism. Take them. Take them. We would be more than happy, flights paid for, at just as long as they can't come back within at least 5 years. That's where I'm going to pay for it, okay? As long as they can't step foot back in the United States for 5 years, go ahead and take them. Give them the nice scholarship. You guys can pay for it. And you can deal with the extremism over there since you love it so much in Iran. You know, it's the same Ayatollah, the same government that's the top contributor of terrorism all across the globe, which kind of makes sense because these people on these college campuses are asking for the genocide of Jews. God, who else does that? Who asks for the death of Israel and death to America? Oh, it's Iran. Who holds protests out there? Who has like holidays chanting death to America, death to Israel? Who does that? Oh, it's Iran. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Well, speaking of terrorism, Hamas leader uses at least 15 hostages as human shields. But you won't see these protesters talking about this whatsoever. Oh, no. You won't see a single banner condemning Hamas and what they did on October 7th. It's all about, oh, the Israelis are terrible. They're committing genocide. While at the same time, it's a really remarkable thing. The same time these people are condemning Israel for allegedly committing genocide, are asking for the genocide of Jews. And they can't understand it. There's no connection to be made. these same people that are asking for food and water as a humanitarian aid from the university aren't making the connection that there's no humanitarian aid that's able to really get into Gaza, and maybe you should think of a solution while you're sitting in your tents acting like idiots of how to get food and water to the very people that you're supporting. So you got the Hamas terrorist leader here, who was the mastermind on October 7th, is hiding behind at least 15 hostages. I was told they didn't do this, though. Hold on, who's reporting this? Oh, the New York Times, which is not a conservative outlet, which is not part of the Republican Party, heavily progressive, heavily left-wing, is saying this. As the U.S., Israel, and Egypt push Hamas to release the remaining hostages, which includes how many Americans? As many as 6. This person is negotiating behind a human shield made up of a very people Israeli forces are trying to rescue. The Times cited people briefed on negotiations between Hamas and Israel who have blamed this individual for preventing a deal from being made that would release the hostages. I was told they didn't do this, you guys. I was told it was crazy that we're conspiracy theorists, that these people would do such types of evil things. Folks, Hamas is supported by 70% of Palestinians. Let that one sink in. But don't worry, they all want a better life. Joe Biden wants to bring these Palestinians that support death to America and death to Israel here in the United States as refugees. So please understand, this whole pier is not being built just for humanitarian aid. Folks, we could fly this stuff in and have been. It's never been an issue before. All of a sudden it's an issue according to Joe. We can hit something. This is the same guy that wouldn't blow a balloon that they watched leave mainland China and fly over our airspace. And his reasoning was it would hit something. Folks, majority of America is pretty barren. You're not going to hit anything other than empty land. It could hit a rock. It could hit a bird. It could hit a possum, a pigeon. Joe's an idiot. Joe hasn't been with us for a very, very long time. Joe hasn't been with us probably for 20 years. But 40 million people are going to turn out voting for that guy. Maybe more. Remember, this is the guy that supposedly was the most popular president ever, 81 million votes, if you believe it. Only Democrats believe that. We all know what's going on. Don't worry, I got an update on voter fraud. Wait till our last segment on voter fraud. You guys are about to be pissed because Democrats are trying to rig the election again. Wait till we get to it. I told you they would do it, and it's only going to ramp up. Before we get into that, we got a little White House news here. So the DEI hire, the affirmative action, no brain, no good White House press secretary is doing cleanup time. And no, it's not for Joey's diaper. You have Joe Biden. I still can't believe this is a thing. Joe Biden called one of our allies xenophobic. Now, he called Russia and China xenophobic as well, but there was a press briefing and there wasn't the video. This one's on a Marine One, or rather Air Force One, forgive me. And we only have audio. So this is kind of a gag, or gaggle rather. Here's a reporter asking the question and just listen to her response, you guys. Hang in there. It's only a minute.
Marine,
Yeah.
the word xenophobic is a very pejorative and negative word, particularly to use against an ally. Is that what he meant?
Look, the president was very clear, and I think...
He wasn't very clear. I mean, that's why we're asking you.
Well, look, here's what I'm saying. He was talking about who we are as a country, right? He was talking about the importance about being in a country of immigrants, especially as you see the attacks that we have seen very recently in the last couple of years on those attacks on immigrants in particular. And so it is important for us to remember that we are a country of immigrants. I'm explaining what he was talking about and how he was what he was focusing on in those comments. Country of immigrants, it makes us stronger. It is important to be very clear about that. And the president's always going to be really clear on speaking to issues that matter to the American people. We are a country of immigrants, that matters, and we've seen these attacks, and so the president's never going to shy away from that. Go ahead, Mike.
Folks, what the hell is she talking about? What is she talking about? So many reporters were asking for a clarification, and the clarification never came. So through several questions about the president's remarks from this gaggle about Japan, she maintained, she stood her ground. She quadrupled down that Biden was speaking to the United States strengths and the fact that America is a nation of immigrants. So we look to the reason, we look at and think about, why is China stalling so badly economically? Why is Japan having trouble? Why is Russia? Why is India? Because they're xenophobic. They don't want immigrants. Immigrants is what makes us strong. Not a joke. That's not hyperbole, because we have an influx of workers who want to be heard and want to contribute. He should have just called Japan or allies xenophobic. That's going to piss them off, but it doesn't matter, because Joe Biden's foreign policy is dog bleep, folks. Joe Biden's foreign policy is terrible. Okay. Well, oh, we're not done. We're not done. So, as you can imagine, because Joe Biden is terrible at his job, in the same way Karine Jean-Pierre is terrible at her job, in the same way Anthony Blinken's terrible at his job, in the same way you got everybody else like John Kirby and the others running this country into the ground, Biden's bump has flattened in the polls. And this went freaking viral yesterday. So it was a poll that rattled the campaign world, disrupting the recent narrative that President Biden was closing the gap with former President Trump in the 2024 election rematch. Now, I didn't believe that, but this is what the mainstream media is pushing on the American people, making it seem like, hey, his presidency's fine. Joe Biden's great. This is the same media that gaslights you, telling you the economy's fine, what you're feeling at the grocery store, at the gas pump isn't really happening. And if it is happening, well, shit, it's not Joe Biden's fault. It's really Putin's fault. It's Xi Jinping. It's Japan's fault. Like, they're going to blame everybody, right? Oh, it's Trump's fault. These are the same people, hand to God, that are blaming illegal immigration on Donald Trump, the guy that campaigned in 2016 to sit there and get rid of illegal immigration, build a border wall, that actually brought it down, that was begging for money to build a border wall. He was asking for $3 to 5 billion. We just sent $95 billion, like with a snap of a fingers, to other countries to protect their borders. And they're going to blame Donald Trump. We're not stupid. Hell no, we ain't stupid. We're patriots, baby. We're the Ball Brand Army. We could read through the BS. We know that wasn't real. They're closing the gap. Get out of here. So a survey that went viral indicated Trump topping his Democratic successor by 6 points, you guys. Now, this does not mean that we get to sit at home come November and not get out and vote. Folks, if you struggle walking, you can't get up off the couch, ask a friend or family member, get those patriots, and we'll carry your ass to the election, okay? You got to get out there and vote, because we can't take another 4 years of Joey, and I know you know that, okay? Joe's bragging about decreasing your price of your inhaler. That's his big accomplishment, you guys. Inhaler prices have gone down. Like, you idiot. How about my gas? How about my grocery bill? How about my rent going down? How about not paying employees $20 to freaking scoop food from a tray onto a plate? How about that, Joe? But I'm so glad you decreased the price of inhalers, because I had no idea people were paying extraordinary prices for inhalers. Holy lordy. So that's going on. Trump's doing well in the polls. We got to make sure we stay there, because, can you honestly just put yourself in this mindset for 1 second? 4 more years of Joey. Let that sink in. 4 more years of Joey. We might be in freaking World War III with that guy. Okay? Can't do it. No can do. So, obviously, Joe Biden has created a disaster at the southern border. And what we have here, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signs bill mandating jailers check immigration status on inmates. Good call. Good call. And it's coming from Georgia. It's not like it's coming from Arizona or Texas or Florida. No. Brian Kemp. Georgia Republican Governor Brian Kemp, stepping up, folks, signed a law that would require jails to check the immigration status of inmates and collaborate with federal immigration officials like ICE to probably get rid of them, so that we're not sitting there paying for 3 meals a day so they can get ripped and work out and get their jog in and sit there and suckle at the government teat, which is us paying for people that shouldn't be here in the first place, that are clearly in jail for a reason. So the law would threaten to strip funding from sheriff offices that refuse to work with federal immigration officials when they have individuals in their custody who appear to be in the country illegally, which you would think God, this might make sense. But not to Joe Biden. Not to Democrats, it doesn't, folks. Oh, no, 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 no. The Democrats are the same people that waved the Ukrainian flag. Y'all remember that one? Because you're a second-class citizen in your own country. Democrats will service everybody else. They will represent everybody else other than their constituents. Kemp said the legislation became one of our top priorities following the senseless death of Laken Riley, of which Biden still struggles to pronounce, at the hands of someone in this country illegally who had already been arrested even after crossing the border. There's people that have been arrested and deported and let back into the interior of the country like 5 or 6 times and have committed murders because these politicians suck at their job, okay? Joe Biden is one of the worst of them. If you enter our country illegally and proceed to commit further crime in our communities, we will not allow your crimes to go unanswered. Again, this comes from the Republican, and rightfully so, because these people are coming here illegally. They're not here for a better life. They're here to sit there. Some of them are for a better life, but they're here to ultimately create chaos, upend and uproot our democracy, and specifically our republic, and burn it to the ground. Folks, I'm telling you, I have it right here, an entire book, How the Left is Destroying America. They're doing it in real time. I'm telling you, it's a timely book. We may go back all the way to 2015 and earlier. Hell, I go back all the way to Egypt in some of these chapters and correlate it to the present time. You'll become equipped, folks, and you'll see what the left is doing because, damn, we're an outlier in terms of republics. Nobody's ever existed this long. The further we go, the more likely it is that we collapse as a republic. And what you're seeing right now is the collapse of a republic unless we get Trump in office, we figure our shit out here as conservatives and patriots, or else we ain't going to have a country. I am praying personally that the downfall of this country never happens, but if it does, then I'm long dead and gone. Well, with that being said, we got to get out and vote. Democrats know things aren't looking good for Joey right now. Hell, Joey and the people around him know that things aren't looking good for Joey. I mean, look at him physically, okay? Things haven't been going well for that guy quite some time. Well, Democrats know things aren't going well, so there's some game plans that they got here. The first one is to call in another crisis. Joe Biden has been talking about a climate crisis quite often lately. Now, rumor is that if he gets somewhat reelected or even before, this might happen before, they're calling it November surprise or October surprise, that they're going to call in a crisis in the same way they did for COVID. Okay? We all know what happened during COVID. A lot of fuckery happened on. The other thing they're doing is they're trying to rig this bad boy already, and that's what we have right here. So Dem-controlled Michigan State passes bill banning bipartisan election boards from investigating voter fraud. You heard that correctly. The GOP is currently suing Michigan to clean up their fucking voter rolls because they won't do it. I'm sorry to cuss, but this pisses me off. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. Everybody should want the cleanest, fairest elections you could possibly get, but we don't have that because these politicians aren't willing to look under the hood. You have the GOP suing Nevada as well for not cleaning up their voter rolls. Nevada is one of the people I talk about the most, where I talk about people voting from properties that don't exist. People understand, I'm going to be as quite literal as I possibly go out to the desert, okay? You look out into the desert. You don't see anything, not a building in sight. People are voting from these locations. There used to be a building there, not anymore. People are also voting from addresses that don't even live there anymore. So who's voting on your behalf? We showed a poll where 21% of people voted on somebody else's ballot for Joe Biden. We talked about how people fraudulently filled out, they admitted it in the study. They admitted to voter fraud and voting fraud on ballots in the election that would have swung in the favor of Donald Trump. The media were complicit in this. The media told us the Hunter Biden laptop wasn't real. Now, you guys got to understand, you're very informed, okay? Whether it's watching my show or not, you are all intelligent, you're smart, you're patriots, you're part of the Ball Brad Army, baby, best community out there on YouTube, but you get it. A lot of people don't watch this stuff. They don't have a freaking clue what's going on. That's why it's important we hit that like and subscribe button so we can get videos out there like this that inform people and tell them what the hell is going on, because when the Hunter Biden laptop came out, most people didn't know about it. And furthermore, they said if they would have known about it, if they would have known that it was true, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. 17%, the election would have swung for Trump, and we wouldn't be dealing with all this crap right now. But because the media are complicit in massaging the shoulders and gross-ass feet of Joey and the Democrat Party, now we're in this bleep hole. So what I'm saying is they're going to continue to try to support Joey. And that's why we had that poll come out that was so shocking, because like, how could Joe be losing? 4 more years. 4 more years for this guy. Come on, everybody, 4 more years. They're not with us. The same way these protesters aren't with us. So they're going to do everything they can to win the election. They're going to universal mail-in balloting again. They're going to set their new ballot harvest. All this stuff's going to happen again. They never stopped it, and they're never going to. So now they're not willing to even clean up their voter rolls, and they're going to stop you from investigating this stuff. This should terrify everybody, man. I'm not trying to be an alarmist here, but this is some wild shit. The Michigan Democrat, I'm going through this whole thing. Oh, you bet your ass I'm going through this whole thing. This is the most important article we have of the day. The Michigan Democrat-controlled Senate passed a bill earlier this week that would ban bipartisan election boards from investigating voter fraud and make it more difficult in some circumstance to start a recount. The legislation, Senate Bill 603, was passed along party lines, go figure, on Tuesday and drew harsh criticism from Republican state lawmakers who say that if the bill becomes law, there's nothing that can be done if a board of state canvassers sees or suspects election fraud. Holy shite. Democrats, however, argue that voter fraud investigations should be handled by law enforcement. Well, why can't it be handled by both? Like, more eyes under the hood, the better, right? Like, what's wrong with having both people look at it, coming together, going, holy crap, Democrats lied. They fraudulently voted for Joey again. How are so many dead people voting? That's my question. We know how. Because they're not willing to sit there and update their registration. We've got other areas of law that talk about fraud, that talk about tampering. But when we're talking about a recount, let's make sure that what we're talking about with a recount is actually really tally of voters. Or votes, rather. Currently, state boards of canvassers, made up of 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, have the authority to investigate suspected voter fraud or ballot tampering. Senate Bill 603 ends the ability of local officials to investigate potential fraud, illegal activity, or even ballot tampering during a recount by deleting current provisions in Michigan election law that give this authority to bipartisan county boards of canvassers. Now they're going to say, well, even if we push this bill through, we could still look at it, but have law enforcement do it. I want all eyes on this, and I don't care if it's the Republicans are doing some fraudulent or the Democrats. I want it to be done fairly, and that's what pissed me off about January 6th, was because on the Senate floor, Ted Cruz was standing there, and he had the support of senators before January 6th. So to paint a picture, on January 6th, Ted Cruz was literally on the Senate floor talking about investigating the election integrity and the voter stuff that was going on, the foozery, the BS. These idiots, these nut jobs, these people that claim to be conservative Republican, which they are not. These are not patriots that stormed the Capitol. These are idiots, okay, you guys? They're not one of us. Please do not lump us in with those idiots that decided to go into the Capitol and act like dumbasses. Now, did some people just walk around and get a VIP tour? Absolutely. I'm not saying it was nearly as bad as what people portrayed to be. Not a good look. Bunch of idiots. They're not part of us. Those that sat there and broke windows. They're the same as the idiot protesters on college campuses right now. But Ted Cruz was on the floor. They started going into the Capitol, and when everything was said and done, they were able to go back on the Senate floor, and Ted Cruz no longer had the votes. So there might be a conspiracy theory in that, if that was the game plan all along by the FBI, because they didn't want us to look under the hood and actually find out that Joe Biden in the election was stolen. That Joe Biden sat there and was able to be in office of when in actuality he might not be. So there's a conspiracy theory for you. I'm not saying I believe it, but damn, it's weird that all of a sudden January 6th occurs, never really happened before, and we don't get people looking under the hood. Then you have this coming out where Democrats are like, we really don't want you looking under the hood, and we're going to do everything we possibly can but to make sure that you're not looking under the hood, which is why we have this being pushed. If we want people to have faith in our electoral process, we should not be taking away people's rights to have allegations of election fraud investigated during a recount. Correct. A recount just tallies the votes. We need a forensic audit here. We need to look at stuff. What took place with all these states going, well, we did an audit on our ballots and we looked at it. No, you didn't. You just sat there and recounted something that could have been fake in the first place. That's all you did. So you're not actually looking into anything. Along with preventing boards of canvassers from looking into potential election fraud, the state Senate bill would also increase the cost of recount to between $250 to $500. So basically that's saying, well, we don't have the funding for it. We don't have the money. You know, the same way they did that for the border wall. Well, where are we going to get $3 billion, $5 billion for? Oh, Ukraine, you need your border secure? Cool. Here's $60 billion. Nancy Pelosi said we didn't have any money, you guys. It was so funny. When it comes to protecting our borders, all of a sudden we're just out of cash. When it comes to just, funding everybody else, their humanitarian aid, their border, their military, their education, their food services, everybody else across the globe, we got money everywhere. It's astonishing. Additionally, the bill would change the automatic recount threshold from a 2,000 vote difference to a 0.1% difference. So that's proportionality. So that does actually sit there and mess with things. So gubernatorial race would have been 4,391 votes. If passed into law, the state Senate legislation would allow for a recount in a precinct where the poll book doesn't balance with the total number, which would be nice. Anything that doesn't balance, anything that looks fraudulent, we should be looking into. But for some reason, a state that went Democrat and is a swing state, all of a sudden really is pushing this whole voter election, doesn't want people investigating it, doesn't want people looking under the hood. It's not Republicans. It's just, you notice that it's one party. It's so astonishing. It's always one party. I'm not saying Republicans are perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But it's weird that it's Democrats that want universal mail-in balloting, right? They don't want to clean up their voter rolls. They want to allow it to be election week and not election day. Oh, you didn't get it postmarked on the day of the election. That's okay. Let's still grant it up to 3 days. No biggie. Oh, it goes against our state constitution. Let's go ahead and change that, right? Like we saw in Pennsylvania and some other states doing some fuckery shit. It pisses me off because it's the Democrat Party that sits there and allows this to happen. Where Republicans are trying to stand up for what our constitution is, what our rights are, and actually what we sat there and have on the books in terms of laws, and make sure that we're actually doing something correct, that there's no voter fraud, that there's no foogery going on, but you have some other group of people, I mean the Democrat Party, that are completely for it. You would think that if you're a Democrat and you think Donald Trump is such a threat to democracy and a threat to the Republic, that you would want this type of investigation to take place so that if he did win, you could sit there and utilize it to your advantage and go, hey, you know what? That's really weird. How did Trump win? It's been my question this entire time of how Joe Biden won. Now, I know we're on YouTube. We all get how Joe Biden won. There ain't 81 million people that voted for that guy. No way in hell. I have never seen people parade for Joe Biden. I have never seen Joe Biden fill up a freaking football stadium or a baseball stadium or any stadium, rather. Joe Biden can't fill a parking lot. He couldn't fill a living room of people. You're telling me that guy got 81 million votes, which we'll never know because our congressmen and women don't want to look into it. Because we're second-class citizens in our own country, folks. They will service everybody else, the Ukrainians, the Iranians, $10 billion. Don't get me going. My rants are starting again. It's Friday. Gee, hey, Trump, how much money do you need to build a border wall to protect America and make sure people aren't coming here illegally? Nancy, Chuck, you freaking evil scum. You guys are swampy. I would probably need, somewhere in the range of $3 to $5 billion we can make do. We'll sit there and protect this country. We'll protect it from the animals, MS-13 violent gang members. So, $3 to $5 billion. Joe Biden's giving Iran. I've said it earlier in the segment. You guys got me going. Now I'm pissed. Joe Biden is giving the Iranians, I said this earlier, that chant death to America, want to see you wiped off the face of the earth. Democrats, I'm talking to you. Doesn't give a shit if you're Democrat. If you're an American, you live in this country, Iran wants to wipe you off the face of the earth. What I mean by that, you cease to exist. If they get nukes, they're dropping it on you and your family. Don't care that you're Democrat. They don't care that you're Green Party. They don't give a shit if you're vegetarian, okay? They're going to take your life. Understand that, please, because Democrats don't get it. Republicans get it. Conservatives get it. Joe Biden gave them $10 billion. The people that don't like you, the people that hate you, the people that want to see this country gone, he gives them $10 billion. Nancy, I just want $3 billion. Goddamn, we can protect the shit out of our borders. Nobody's coming through. How the hell, water? Elon Musk is going to see this from space. It's like the Chinese Great Wall, right? Beautiful wall. No, Nancy. Goddamn, Nancy, are you smiling? Nancy, are you looking? Jesus Christ, what happened to your face? Folks, Democrats are going to destroy this country. And it's not just the Democrats, specifically the progressive left. You're damn right. I'm going to plug my book one more time. We got Trojan Horse. How the left is destroying America. Fun story. It's not fun. It scared the crap out of me. And it shouldn't have been. Look, you know what? I'm very sentimental with this mug here. One, I created the logo myself. And we got the American flag on the back. So if you're a lefty, folks, it just depends. Let me wet my whistle real quick. So what happened was, look, I'm trying to wake up, and I was pouring my coffee, and I don't know what it was. I'm actually drinking my coffee cold here, so there's ice. Well, condensation, my hand slipped, and I dropped the mug. The sound it made, I thought I broke it. I thought it was game over. I'm like, the first mug I ever had, I made it. Oh my God, I'm crippled. Folks, It's looking better than ever. It still survived. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, damn. This thing is built. It looks good. So we're still good. Thing didn't break as far as I'm aware. So no chips, nothing. But I'm not saying I dropped it from like this high, but it fell on the counter. It sounded bad. I was like, oh my God. So still have the mug. Get yourself a mug. There's no profit. I just want to emphasize this. I don't want people to think I'm like swindling them. For the merchandise, my main objective is that you could just support the swagger. Now, if you want to sit there and go, hey, man, I want to support you. I want you to actually make some money so you can grow here. Then we have a membership tab for that. Feel free to join us. 99 cents a month, $4.99 or $9.99. Folks, some people are supporting like Disney. They're supporting these media outlets like ABC, NBC, and these people that don't have your values. At least you know what you're getting here. This is me. I'm not beholden to a corporation. I don't have a single damn sponsor, which is why I plug my own stuff. And some people ask a lot of times in emails like, hey, how can I help? How can I contribute? Please, I really do mean this. Don't feel like you have to send your hard-earned money, okay? Things are tight. Bidenomics sucks. And I'm not begging. I just want to be clear. Just people do email. They do ask, hey, how can I support the show? Hey, do you have merch? They have all these things. So everything is in the description below. You just watching and hanging out with us is really what this is all about. We're a community of patriots, conservatives, Republicans, independents. We have a lot of independents that watch the show. That one caught me off guard. We have a lot of independents that watch this show. We love this country. Democrats love this country too. It's just there's an outgrowth called the progressive left that are driving it into the ground. You just watching, hitting that like and subscribe button, leave us a comment down below. That's what supports the show. That's what's going to push our videos out there to people that need to hear this stuff. Remember, 17% of people did not know that the Biden laptop was real when the media was pushing that it was fake news. Oh, it's Russian misinformation. It's Russian disinformation. They would have swung their vote. That's why getting our videos out there is so important, that we can at least reach those people to give them the truth, because they ain't going to get it from the media. The media's telling them Biden's doing great. The economy's fine. Oh, you're not feeling at the gas pump. Oh, it's normal. Oh, it's Trump's fault. No. We need to get the truth out there, folks. I need your help to do it. Thank you again for always supporting the show. Again, if you want to give your hard-earned money, I absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Bald Brad Army and the members. And if you just want to watch and hang out with us, we love you just as much, folks. And I'll see you next time for Saturday. Whoa! Tomorrow's Saturday. Holy Lordy. Check out our second channel, Spooky Adventures, folks. We check out paranormal stuff. It's all about supernatural, the ghosty wosties, aliens, UFOs. It's just a way for us to deviate away from the craziness of the world, the protesters, Iran, all these nut jobs out there on the college campuses. We step away from that stuff and just have fun as a community. Get a little spooked out, check out the aliens, the UFOs, UAPs, and just dive into a different type of content. That's at Spooky Adventures. The link to that is in the description. We got a lot of people transferring over there from the Bald Brad Show supporting us. Would love to hang out with all of you. And we'll be back here with another episode of the Bald Brad Show. Don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to do something damn good. With that being said, I will see you tomorrow, Saturday, folks. Have a blessed weekend here on the Bald Brad Show.